Hi guys, this is Thea from Total Body Finesse, and this is my cousin.
Hi!
And today we're going to do a Thea Talks about being gluten-free. I did a video on my health changes from about 5 years ago, but this time I want to come on with my cousin and talk about being gluten-free, how she went gluten-free, and how it's changed her life for the better. Okay, so first we're going to start off with what exactly is gluten. Gluten is a protein. It's a protein mostly found in things like wheat, barley, rye, and durum, like in your spaghetti. And it's responsible for making doughs sticky, so it holds things together like a glue. Okay, so there's 3 different types of sensitivities, if you'll call them, to gluten. There's celiac disease, there's non-celiac gluten sensitivity, and then there's a wheat allergy. So celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder, and that's like the worst type of wheat sensitivity that you can have, okay? So it causes your gut to basically not be able to absorb all the nutrients that you're getting. So with this type of disease, people have to stay clear of anything that contains any type of gluten. So they have to be on a strict gluten-free diet. And then there's non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which is not really well known about, but it does cause some type of sensitivity as far as you can get nauseous, or you might have a skin rash, you might have a headache, get fatigue, stuff like that. And the symptoms usually come about maybe 24 to 48 hours after you've been exposed to gluten. And then there's a wheat allergy. With a wheat allergy, your white blood cells, which are also known as T cells, they produce something called immunoglobulin E. Immunoglobulin E, which is a reaction to a foreign substance. So your body is basically attacking this wheat protein that you've eaten. And so with this, you can get joint pain, cramping, fatigue, and headaches, okay? And these sometimes present themselves right after you eat, or it could be up to 12 hours after you eat a wheat product. Okay, so those are the 3 types of gluten sensitivities or diseases that you can have from eating this protein called gluten. Okay, so my cousin, she is wheat sensitive.
Yep.
Wheat sensitive, okay? And she's opted to choose a gluten-free lifestyle to help with the symptoms that she was seeing when she was eating gluten. So I have some questions for her so she can help you guys better understand what a person with a wheat sensitivity does when they omit gluten from their life. Okay, so we already went over what made you go gluten-free, which is her wheat sensitivity. And what was the hardest part about being gluten-free?
There's 2 things that are really hard about being gluten-free. One is it's really socially awkward. So when I'm at a work function or happy hour and I don't get pizza, or I'm not eating like the free breadsticks that are on the table, everyone always asks. And since, you know, the terminology about gluten and people don't really know exactly what gluten-free is or what gluten is, it's always like a really awkward conversation. And then the other thing is it can get kind of expensive if you don't know like how to shop for it. So when I was first starting out, I was spending a lot of money trying to go gluten-free. So those are the 2 hardest things.
Okay, so do you miss being able to eat the wheat or have those social interactions?
No, not at all. I don't miss it because after I'd gone gluten-free for about 6 months, I decided I was just going to try a pancake. Just one pancake, it wouldn't hurt, and my body completely shut down. I had like flu-like symptoms. It was really, really bad. So ever since then, no matter how good like the macaroni and cheese looks or the cake, I don't miss gluten at all.
And so take us through the process of you going gluten-free. What changes did you have to make with your transition to going omitting gluten?
I had to start buying a lot of other types of flours, like almond flours, coconut flours, and things like that to replace like the regular white flour that I was using. And then going on different blogs and finding out about new recipes.
So you did a lot of research to get to that point.
Yeah.
So do you feel any differently, and what changes did you see from going gluten-free?
Immediately, like things that I was experiencing, like my eczema cleared up. I was having really bad digestive issues, so I noticed if I would eat like a salad for lunch, I'd be fine. This is before I went gluten-free. But if I were to eat a sandwich or something with bread or wheat, I would have like extremely noisy digestion, like a really gassy digestion. So when I cut gluten out of my diet, my skin cleared up and my digestion got better.
So do you have any meals or snacks that are your favorite kind of gluten-free meals?
Yes, there's so many. I use spaghetti squash a lot for meals instead of noodles. And it's really good and it's so easy and really nutritious. And as far as snacks, I really love Capello's chocolate chip cookies. They're like ready to bake and you just slice them up and put them in the oven.
Side note about Kendra, she is a chocolate addict. So the chocolate chip cookies probably were like a heaven sent for her because she loves chocolate. Okay, so do you have any restaurants, we're in DC by the way, do you have any favorite restaurants in the DC area that will serve a gluten-free meal?
Yes, Bayou Bakery has gluten-free like cornbread and muffins and baked goods, and pizza, which is like one of the best pizza places here in DC, has gluten-free pizza crust. So those are two of my favorites right off the top.
And it's the letter or
ampersand.
Oh,
is it the ampersand?
I don't know.
It's the ampersand
pizza. And pizza. So she wasn't saying and pizza. She was saying like the ampersand pizza. That's what the name of the restaurant is called. If you guys aren't from DC. Okay. So are there any other foods that you gave up, including gluten?
Well, one thing that's really good about being gluten-free is it causes me to eat less processed food. So when I was eating gluten, it was so easy for me to say, oh, I'm hungry and I'm in a time crunch, I'm just going to grab something that's like fast food. But now I really can't because there's nothing on those menus that I can eat. And so I'm eating a lot cleaner by being gluten-free. So that's like the biggest takeaway from it.
Okay. And do you have any words of encouragement on someone who's thinking about or really needs to change their lifestyle to a gluten-free lifestyle? If they're having a hard time with getting through a day without like eating a piece of toast.
So if toast is your kryptonite, there's a really good gluten-free toast. It's called Udis, U-D-I-S. You can find it in the freezer section of about any grocery store, and it tastes just like regular bread. But I would say just give it a try, like baby steps. When I first started out, I could go like a few days and then I would, eat bread again or like regular flour baked goods again. I just start cutting it out a little bit at a time, and then I would go for a week, and then I could go for a month, and you'll get the hang of it. But just start small, because if you try to go big all at the beginning, you could really easily set yourself up for failure. But just try like little by little to cut things out.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions that I have for Kendra right now on being gluten-free. I'm on my own gluten-free journey. I'm trying to phase out most of the gluten. I've successfully stopped eating like pasta and bread and stuff like that, but breaded type products is still something that I'm struggling with. So this is my gluten-free guru over here. So whenever I have a question about something gluten-free, or if she knows of something that's gluten-free, I always ask her. So I hope to have her on this channel more so we can talk about more gluten-free resources of things that I or Kendra have found, different recipes or something like that about gluten-free. But if you're interested in more about gluten, what it is, how it affects your body, go to gluten.org. Or if you're more interested in the celiac disease, go to celiac.org. And definitely go to your doctor. If you're having any of those symptoms like nausea, fatigue, or eczema, or headaches or something like that, you might have some type of gluten sensitivity. So definitely go to your doctor and see if that's part of the problem, or even digestive issues, and see if that's part of the problem. Until next time.
Wait, I have something else.
Okay, go ahead.
You can edit this in.
No, I'm going to keep it just like that.
Okay, when you're looking for gluten-free things in the grocery store, one rule of thumb that I keep is look for products with 12 ingredients or less, because a lot of companies are jumping on this gluten-free bandwagon. You'll see a lot of big name brands that have like gluten-free this and that, but if the ingredient list is more than 12 ingredients or full of ingredients you cannot pronounce, it is not a good product. Just because it's gluten-free does not mean it's healthy. There are gluten-free products out there that are packed with terrible, terrible stuff. So like these gluten-free cookies here, they have things that I know exactly what it is. Brown rice flour, milk, cane sugar, eggs, cornstarch, ginger, salt, and baking soda. So that's one other thing. And another thing too is, like Thea was talking about, different symptoms you can have if you have sensitivities to gluten or wheat. You may not know you're having symptoms. You may think, oh, I have headaches all the time. That's just my life. That's just, my everyday. Or you have sinus issues all the time, but that could be your body's reaction to gluten, and you could just be living with it all of your life. But once you cut it out, you will definitely see a change. So you can just try to cut it out and see what symptoms go away, and then you can attribute that usually to your diet. Okay, that's it.
That is a very good point about food allergies in general. Eliminating a certain food and seeing how you feel after a week of eliminating that food will probably tell you whether or not you're allergic to that type of food that you're eating. All right, that is it. Thanks for watching Thea Talks, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because you guys will be seeing a lot of my